This is Summer with Summer's Tips and Stitches, and in this video I'm going to show you how to make this Lovable Valentine's Day Gnome. I have created this pattern, so I also will be releasing at some point a paper copy. I don't know if it'll be on Etsy or Ravelry, but right now here's the tutorial. I have it sitting up here on my yarn shelf, and I found that this is very handy because I can just pull the yarn that I want to use out of there, center pull. Okay, so first let me go over the supplies you'll need for this tutorial, and with the supplies will also be the tutorial on head and body and head. And then there will be another video where I do just the hat, then there'll be another one with arms and legs, and then finally assembly / beard. Very exciting. For this pattern or to do this project, you're going to need yarn. I have a flesh color yarn, which is a Crafter's Secret. I have a red sparkle yarn, which is Red Heart with Love. I have a pink yarn, which is Red Heart. And I also have a, this is my Crafter's Secret flesh yarn. I also have a Red Heart Super Saver white metallic. And then a big twist taupe. And I use just a tiny bit of this for the feet. These are the colors I chose to make my gnome. You can use any 4 colors that you want to. This is just what I chose. Isn't that nice? That is my husband's air compressor. So there are 5 colors of yarn that I am using. You can buy any 5 skeins of yarn and you will not use a whole skein for any of it. Okay, also you will need, this is all worsted weight yarn. And I am using a 4mm crochet hook. This is Tulip. I also obviously need a little pair of scissors for cutting my yarn. I also will need a darning needle to sew in my ends. I use stick pins, approximately 6 of them for this pattern, to position where I want to have my arms before I sew them on. And then also I used about, like I said, 6 of these to outline where I wanted to sew his beard, or where I wanted to start to insert his beard. And then also a stitch marker. This is an Ireland stitch marker that I got from Mary, from Mary's Chit Chat. You guys, I just want to warn you that I am not a professional. I'm just Summer, as many of you know. And so you may hear children in this video, and you also may hear, apparently, my husband's air compressor, because he is also a crafter, but he paints miniatures, and he has an airbrush. So that is going to be exciting. But hopefully you'll be able to hear me over the noise. Okay, so to start each of these parts, usually I do a magic circle or a magic ring. You can do the method if you don't like to do magic rings, you don't like magic. You can chain 2 for this first round, because, well, actually the whole pattern, because it is single crochets, and you can go back into this first chain. I just don't like doing that because I don't like the hole. So to do a magic ring or a magic circle, I do this crisscrossy pattern. Many use this also for making their slip knot, where you hold it with your thumb across 2 fingers, spread it out, do you see that? And then lay it over as a cross. Do you see that, like an X? And then I insert my hook under the first one. I snatch up that back one, twist it, and then I come over here and I hold this little circle. And then I kind of get my yarn and I jam my fingers in there. Do you see that? Okay, chain 1, because we're going to do single crochets, and you're going to start with 8 single crochets, either in your little chain 2 thingy or your magic circle. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, now you will see, and through this yarn situation, the metallics often come out and can cause a little bit of problem. I sometimes don't pull all the way through them, and so they end up being a problem. So keep that in mind if you're using a metallic. If you don't want that problem, just go ahead and use a plain yarn without metallic. Okay, so now that I have my 8, I'm going to give this a little tug. If everything worked just fine, it's going to cinch up. I'm not going to pull it all the way. I'm going to leave that little hole because now for my next round, I'm going to do 2 single crochets into each stitch. Because I do this magic ring or magic circle, whatever you want to call it, that first stitch tends to be a little tight. So that's 1. We're going to do 2 in each. We're going to have 16. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, my computer fell asleep, 13, 14, and 15, 16. Now that I've got my first 16, let me get up into my pattern, wake up my computer. I am going to remember that this is the first one. I'm going to get my stitch marker way over here. And what I'm going to do for the next round is I'm going to mark my first stitch. That's how I do it. So if you are a last stitch person, I'm sorry, but I mark my first. Okay, so the next round is going to have 1 single crochet and then 2 in the next stitch for a increase. So I'm going to do this first 1. And then I am going to put my stitch marker from Mary right into that first stitch. It's actually very difficult to put a stitch marker in through a camera. There we go. Isn't that beautiful, Ireland? Okay, so I'm going to count them. Remember, this pattern is going to be 1 by itself, 2 in 1. 1 by itself, 2 in 1. So hopefully at the end of this, we get to 24. So we did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, and 24. Okay, that is the end of this round, which I believe is my round 3. I'm going to give a little tight tug to my magic ring, closed it up. Okay, so that is the end of that round. The next round is going to be 2 single crochets and then 2 single crochets in 1. So I'm going to move my stitch marker because this is the beginning of this round. This is round 4, and I'm going to insert my hook, yarn, and pull through, and this is my first stitch. That's 1 of 2. And then we're going to go all the way around with the 2 single crochets and then 2 in 1. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. See that? 5, 6, 7. Oops, I didn't get all the way through. And 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20, 21, 22, 23, and 24, 25, 26, 27, and 28, 29, 30, and we made it to 32. Okay. I'm crocheting pretty tight, you guys. You see that? It's all flailing around and it's kind of gappy. I might want to relax. Okay, so now we are going to start the next round. It is another round of increase. This time it's going to be 3 single crochets. Here's my first of them. And then I'm going to mark my stitch. That's 1. Get in there, buddy. And then 2 and 3. Now, this is what's going to go on, you guys. I am not going to be able to count out every single stitch. So I'm going to do a couple of them and then I'll stop and then I'll meet you at the end of the round. But I'm going to do a couple of this increase. So we just did 3 and now we need to do 2 and 1. And then we're going to do, so that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then we do 9, 10. So you're doing 3 individuals and then 2 and 1. Okay? You can pause the video, but I'm going to come back right before we finish this round. This is my round 5 according to my pattern, and we will get ready for round 6 through 16. Okay, you guys, I'm at the end of round 5, and this is a total of 40 stitches. For the next rounds, 6 through 16, you will just be going round and round at 40 stitches. To be honest, it would have been a lot smarter if I would have just waited. But anyway, this is what I've done. So I'm going to stop, and I'll meet you up when you have finished all the way up round 16. So remember, 6 through 16 is just single crocheting in every stitch. And we will join back for round 17, where we're finally going to do some changing. Okay, so I just finished 17. I'm all the way to 17 rounds. If you want to see what it's looking like, this is like the base, the bottom of your gnome. And now we're going to start for row 17. We're going to start row 17 because I just completed row 16, people. I'm sorry about that. Anyway, we're going to do 3 single crochets and then 2 single crochet together, or single crochet 2 together. Okay, so let's get the stitch marker out because this is marking my first stitch. This is stitch number 1. Get that in there. Put Ireland back in there. Marking my... This is a very creaky table. There's a lot of things going on that I did not suspect would be a problem. Okay, creaky table, air compressor. Okay, let's keep going. So that's 2, 3. Now you can do your decreases 2 ways. This is the way some people do it. They just go push their hook through, yarn over, pull up a loop, go into the next one, yarn over, pull up a loop, and then bring through 3. This is what I do. I learned it in my amigurumi days, you know. I go through just this front loop. Okay, like that. 1, yarn over, then I go into the next one. Nope, actually I don't yarn over, I don't think. I just go into the front loops, yarn over, pull through 2, pull through 2. And so that is your decrease. So you've just done 3 and then you decreased on that 1. So now you have 4 stitches. And then we do 5, 6, 7, there's your 3. And then I'm gonna do my, like in just that front loop. 1, 2, yarn over. Okay, and so that's 8. Now you're just gonna go all the way around with that same pattern. 9. Oof. Oh, that one's getting stuck. It's that metallic. 9, 10, 11, and then through the 2 together. 12, 13, 14, and then 2 together. Okay, I'm going to join you back when I've made it all the way around. Okay, so we just finished with 32 stitches. The next row is just a single crochet around in each stitch. Isn't that nice? Maybe I'll do this whole row with you before I switch off. So we get 1 stitch or 1 single crochet in the beginning, get my stitch marker in there. Oh, it seems to be taking a long time. I'll tell you, crocheting through the camera is not easy. So we got 1, 2, see that metallic? So we're just going all the way around, 1 single crochet in each stitch for a grand total of 32. And the metallic yarn is nice, but I'll tell you, that little spark, that little sparkle gets caught on your hook sometimes. Okay, I'm gonna turn off the video, meet you back. We should end up with 32 stitches at the end of this round, because we're just going around with what we did before. Okay, I'll see you at the end. Row 19, round 19 is going to be a decreasing row again. This is going to be 2 single crochets in each in their own spot. So 1, 2, and then decreasing with 2 together. If I have my numbers right, we should end with 24. The last stitch of this 24 is where we're going to switch. So don't completely finish off the last stitch. Maybe let's do it together. So this is 1, 2. I better get my stitch marker in that first one. I almost missed it. Do you guys see that? I wonder if you guys can hear my kids like I can. Okay, 2. And then we're going to do 2 together. Now remember, this is how I do. I go through the first loops of the next 2 stitches, yarn over, pull through. Okay, so that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Do I have yarn on there? Yeah, 8. 9, 10, 11, 12, 12, 13, 14, the 2 together, 15, 16, 17, 2 together, 18, hopefully. I might have to recount this whole round. 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Look at that, you guys. It came out to 24. It's almost like I know how to count. Okay, I'm gonna wake up my computer real quick. 24, finish off these last 2 stitches. And let's see, the next one. Oh, this is where we're putting on the flesh color. Look at that, I just forgot. So we go back to doing those 2 together. Yarn over, pull through 2. Now, the reason you do it on the end of this is so when you start your next stitch with the new round, you're gonna have your right color at the top. Otherwise, you end up with your first stitch looking kind of wonky. Okay, so I'm going to cut off the red just a little bit, nothing exciting. You don't need to use this for sewing anything in. I'm going to crochet over it. So I got my little birds, tuck that up there. Now I got my flesh color, which this, to be honest, has been the closest I've found to match a Caucasian person. Okay, so what I'm going to do is hold this yarn right here. I like to tuck it over here to get a good firm tension, pull through. So now you're ready to start the next round with your flesh color. Round 20 through 21 is still just crocheting around this guy's. We're about to switch to his head. So I like to take this red that I just used, lay it along here, and go in for my first stitch. And I give a little tug to that part there, and make sure it's good and tight. Get my stitch marker, get it in there, and then I keep just crocheting around this tail. And then after a little while, I'll just take it off and I'll tuck it inside of its body. So we're going to do rounds 20 and 21 with just 1 single crochet per stitch. See how it's going? 3, 4, 5. Now I think that's about enough of crocheting over. Just tuck that little guy. If you go too short, the end will pop out. You won't be able to keep it. So you got to keep it inside his body. Okay, so I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is 5 stitches into round 20. I'm going to go all the way around, and then I'm going to go again for round 21, all the way around. And then we'll meet together for round 22. Okay, for round 22, we're going to do a little bit of decrease. This is kind of like the neck of our gnome. And we're going to go now to actually an increase to come out from his neck a little bit. So for round 22, we're going to single crochet in 2 stitches. I'm going to tell you what, this Crafter's Secret yarn just feels weird in my hands compared to the others. I know that sounds weird, but it does. So that's round 1, or stitch 1 of round 22. And I'm going to do number 2. And then now we're going to do 2 stitches in 1 to build up. You see that? So that is 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we do, uh-oh, I got my yarn all tangled up. That's what happens when you have it coming out of the top shelf here. Okay, let's get a pile of it down here. Okay, so what do I got? I've got 4. And then I'm going to do the pattern of 2 stitches in here. 4, 5, 6, and then 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, we're almost done, 30, 31, 32. Okay, for the next two rounds, round 23 and 24, you're going to put one single crochet in each stitch all the way around. Okay, so I'll start you and then I'll turn off the video, I think, because I crochet much faster when I'm not behind this camera. So that is the first stitch of round number 23. Maybe I could just keep going. That is the first stitch. I'm getting some more out from my top shelf here, pulling it down. And we got to do 32, and this is round 23. So we'll just go all the way around. One stitch in each stitch. Sometimes I feel like when I'm doing this that I should be chatting with you guys, which is why I think some people pause the camera. And now I guess, though, since I know how to edit my videos together, I should do that. But I feel chatty. This is Christmas break for me, and I've got my Christmas Color Street nails on. They really are ready to come off. I've had them on for just under 2 weeks. I thought about changing them for you guys so my nails were pretty, but you know me. Sometimes I barely have my hair done. So I didn't want to, I was so excited about this gnome. I didn't want to take time to take off these fingernail stickers and then put a new set on. Isn't that crazy? So we're almost done, you guys. If you wanted to know, that's why I thought I'd keep this on. We're almost done with this gnome head and body. Okay, so that's the end of that round. Wake up my computer. We're going on to round 24, which is, again, another single crochet in every stitch. Hopefully you're using something other than Crafter's Secret so you don't have to feel it like scraping on your hook. Even Red Heart, I think, feels better than the Crafter's Secret. It's low. I've got a little bit of itch in my throat. Okay, you guys, sorry, I left my water. I filled it up and then left it upstairs. And I thought to myself, I was making this, you're going to do a lot of talking. You should go get your water. Okay. We're going around. I'm gonna have to pause the video because now I really do need a cough. I can't make it anymore. We'll meet at the back at the end of row 24. Okay, we're at the end of row 24, round 24, where we single crocheted in each stitch. Now we're gonna do a decrease again. I'm a little speculative on how my numbers work out on this one, but let's go for it. Round 25 is 3 single crochets and then single crochet 2 together. Okay, when I counted this out, look what I did. I counted it out with all these little stitches and circling them. I kept coming out with a different number, so I'm the queen of fudging. To me, it's not going to matter if his head has one extra stitch between. If it bothers you, I'm sorry, you can redo the math. Okay, so let's do 3 single crochets. That's 1. Put Ireland back where it should be. Thank you, Mary. 2 and 3. I'm going to pull down some yarn from my top shelf. Now we're going to do the decrease. Remember, you can decrease however you want. I like to go tuck up into each of these first loops. Yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through. So that's 3, 4, 5, get in there, 5, 6, 7, and the 8th decrease. Nine, 10, 11, and then a decrease. Pop, doodle-doo. Hopefully I said 11, 12, 13, 14, and a decrease. You guys, I'm going to stop and count my stitches because I don't really realize what I did. So we got 1, that's where Ireland is, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. See there? Good thing I counted. Did I just do a decrease? Yep, 16. And then 17, 18, 19, and a decrease. Wow, this yarn is stiff. Well, I'm going tight too, I think. Now I forgot my number, you guys. Well, let's just go all the way around to the end. 1, 2, 3, and a decrease. Get in there, buddy. There we are. And then 1, 2. Yep, see there? I'm off. But you know what? Like I said, it's not going to matter. Although I think I have the right stitch mark according to my pattern. My pattern says I should be on 26 stitches. Let's see where I'm at. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. So I'm at the right count number for my pattern, 26 stitches. Okay, now the next round is just single crocheting in each stitch. So remove Ireland, put it back in for my first stitch. Where are you? I went upstairs when I went to go get my water and I told my kids to calm down. I said, you're shouting and you're all in the same room as each other. And I feel like now they actually have quieted down. I used to worry about that, and occasionally I'd get a comment here or there about my kids' noise or popping their heads into the video. One time I had Flynn. This is before YouTube got really fussy about kids in their videos and such. He was just climbing around in the video while I was talking, and one person got real mad about that. They're like, it was so distracting. And I'm like, I get it, but this is the deal. When you have people in your home, you're going to hear other people. There's really no time. And if you don't like to hear people in my videos, you can find someone that doesn't have people in the background. I'm sure there's a million other people that are making some kind of a gnome pattern that you can change from Christmas to this. Isn't that? I undersold myself there, but I'm just saying, it's the way life is. Okay, so I just finished up that round. That was round 26, where I single crocheted in each stitch around, ended on 26 counts. Now I'm going to go to round 27, where I'm going to do 2 single crochets and then 2 stitches stuck together. So that's 1, put Ireland back in, and then there's 2, and then there's 2 stitches together. This is going to be a really long video, people. Hopefully you're prepared. 1, 2, and then 2 together, right? And I think if my numbers are right, according to my pattern, you should have 20 stitches on your little head when you're done with this round 27. Did I just do 2 together? Yes. 1, 2, 2 together. 1, 2, 2 together. 1, 2, 2 together. Let's see what I end up on. 1, 2. Let's count my stitches, make sure we have 20. Ooh, he's getting so tall. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and there's 20. Okay, now this is a good time to stuff your Gnome. I am by no means any expert in how to stuff or what to do. I have watched other people talk about it, like whether they use big pieces or little pieces, or they rip it up into tiny pieces or whatever. You guys, you do you. Stretch out your stitch a little bit and then just start jamming it in. That's what I do. I've got most of this stuffing is fresh. I'm not using couch. If you know me from other videos, I got a new couch and I took my throw pillows from the old couch and I de-stuffed them so I could use it from amigurumis. Okay, and then I just kind of like smash him around, like, because you want him to sit like this, or her, or whatever you want to call it. I don't know. And then I just jam it in. I'm not going to be fully stuffing because I don't like my crochet hook to get caught in the stuffing while I crochet. And so I'm going to do a little bit more, but this is when I'm starting, because once you get close by here, it's going to be hard to jam your thing. Now you can, some people like take crochet hooks and poke it down in there. Put a little bit more in. I don't know. Okay. I'm not an expert. Okay. There we go. I think I've said that a few times in this video. I'm just showing you what I do. Now, the next round is 1 single crochet, 2 single crochets together. Almost tried to sound a little British there. Isn't that exciting? Take out Ireland, 1 single crochet. I might have to flip him around like this. Get Ireland back in. And then 2 together. Oh, you can't see. 1, 2. He's getting big, our little gnome. 1 crochet. Uh-oh. Gotta get that so it's not hanging there. 1. And then 2 together. Just follow that around. Two together. 1. together. 1, 2 together. And, oh, get Ireland in my way over there. 1, 2 together. After this round, I'm going to put a little bit more into this guy's head before I close off. 1 together, and then 1, and then, oops, wait a second here. Let's just do another one. Let's see what we got here for stitches. In this video camera, it looks like a completely different color, and that confused me for some reason, looking over and looking, whoop, almost dropped you guys. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Amen. 14 is what we needed. I always get excited when that actually works. I get nervous because I miscount, and then at the end, okay. So I'm getting a little bit more, stuffing into his head. Okay. Now, the next thing is just crocheting 2 stitches together. I feel like he's got a nice firm body, no 6-pack on him or her, but nice full head. Give it, just squeeze it around a little bit. I think I might put a little bit more. I don't want to be stingy with the brains. Okay, so now we're going to do 2 stitches together, which should mean that we end up on 7 crochet stitches. Let's hope that happens. Get some of the yarn pulled down. I'm kind of having to hold the gnome. At the end of this, I'll show you how big he's getting. Maybe I should be going like this. I don't know. It's really hard to show you this part. So wait, I got to do 2 together. So just that first stitch, second stitch, yarn over, pull through 2, pull through 2. And then I'm going to put Ireland back in. It's kind of, I'm going to smash it down here for you guys. 1, 2. This is the hardest part, you guys. Oof. Get the brains are trying to leak out there. 1, 2, pull through, pull through. 1. Oof. 2. Ooh, you can't even see it. You're like, Summer, get it back in there. It came out of the vision. Sorry. 2. Good gravy. This part's hard because he's gotten bigger than my distance from my camera, if you know what I'm saying. So it's hard to hold it. This is the last 2 together. Look at that. Bada bing, bada boom. Okay, now he's got this little icky head opening. Don't worry. You need to cut a little bit off. I'm going to cut, oh, I lost my stick pins. That should make somebody happy later on. I'm going to cut off about this much. See that? Now I'm done with this flesh colored for a while. Put it up here on the shelf. I'm going to use them for his hands a little later. And then I'm going to get my darning needle, pull this all the way off. And I don't know who to give credit to this closing of his head technique I'm going to show you. I learned it from someone. I watch a lot of people on YouTube and I have no idea. Okay, so I pulled it tight. Now, I like to go straight across right here to sew his head. Do you see that? Like a... No, I've come across. Now, I go 1 stitch over and I go over that and I go to the stitch straight across. Oops, don't get that last bit in there. There you go. See that? Now I turn to where my yarn is and I go into the stitch. See how it's coming out of this one? I go 1 next to it. It's kind of like a star. See that? And I pull, come back to where my little guy, my yarn's coming out of here. So I'm gonna go on the stitch next to it. I come across, whoop, go over that, get down, yarn, go into here. Do you see that? It's like a little X. And do I need to do it one more time? Nope, I think it's just fine. Well, let's do it, because look at this. There's nothing coming into this one. So go over that. There we go. Ta-da! I've sewn my little gnome's head up. He's good. He's got a nice firm little body, his head. Then I go like this, and I just tuck it down deep in here. And this is where, right over here, I'm going to sew his nose. So I'm going to tuck him right there, out like that, have his top of his head coming out of his nose hole. Okay, so let's see. Let's grab my crochet measurement. This guy in inches is getting to be approximately, you should have, his head's a little thumpy on that side, about 6, just right around that 6 inches, maybe 5.5, conservative, 5.5 to 6 inches. That's why you can't see him all. Now, there is a second section for the nose. I'm going to leave this hanging right out here. This is where I like to fasten the nose, because otherwise it looks nice and straight all the way around. Do you see this? And this little weird bit is where I want to put the nose. Then also, it's nice because when you attach your beard hair under here, you're hiding this difference. That's where I do one row of it here, one row of it here, his nose is here, and it hides this weird bit, okay? So I'm gonna make the nose with the hat, because this video is super duper long. So this is part 1, where you make like this little bowling pin of a look, right? I made this shape before when I made a koala type of amigurumi. Part 2 is going to be nose and hat. We'll attach the nose right away, then we'll make the hat. Okay, thanks for watching and subscribing. Thanks for liking and sharing my videos. Go to part 2 to make your nose and your hat.